Hello, my dear friends! A few people know, but the familiar format of a book with flipped pages was invented by famous Gaius Julius Caesar. He began to write reports to the Senate in little books instead of using scrolls. This was convenient because when the quaestor had to announce a report in the Senate, he did not need to unwrap a long scroll. He could simply turn the pages. Now that I am talking about the scrolls, then I will tell you more about them. The ancient book originally had the format of a papyrus scroll. This format was convenient if it was a small work. A Roman could carry a small scroll with funny poems in the folds of his toga, which served as a pockets. It was convenient to read it lying on the bed, as Julius Caesar, the father of Emperor Lucius Verus, did with his favorite poetic works. The bed was covered with flower petals, and this aristocrat approached reading poetry very thoughtfully, creating the atmosphere he needed. The situation was much worse if the work was long and consisted of several volumes, each of which was a separate scroll or even fit into several scrolls. The long scroll had a frightening effect. The philosopher Diogenes noticed the boredom of the audience during a public reading and shouted that he had seen the shore, which meant a clean place on the scroll, marking the end of the text. Interestingly, pragmatic Romans who could not refuse to attend public readings usually sent a servant to find out where the reader was in the scroll. They entered the auditorium when the shore became visible. However, even here the listeners were in danger. If the scroll was not a professionally prepared edition, but an author's manuscript, it could contain other text. This is exactly what graphomaniacs do. So the shore, the bottom of the scroll, seemed to have been reached, but to the surprise of the audience, reading could continue after turning the scroll upside down. A Roman senator and a well-known representative of the intellectual life of Rome at the turn of the 1st-2nd centuries, Pliny the Younger, recalled that during dinner with his uncle, the polymath Pliny the Elder, a certain work was always being read, a common form of entertainment known in Rome since the 1st century before Christ. One of the guests asked the reader to return to a place where he had read before and repeat it. This required the reader to unroll the scroll again, which took a long time and caused displeasure in Pliny the Elder, who valued his time greatly. Pliny devoted a lot of time to academic studies and kept notes on every book, saying that there was no book that was completely useless. He even read while traveling in a carriage with his secretary, preferring it to riding. But it seems that unrolling the scrolls while riding in a cart was not very convenient. In general, all those factors, coupled with the fragile nature of papyrus and its constant twisting, led to the codex format chosen by Gaius Julius Caesar becoming a more popular and widespread format.